Hello, 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 everybody. Um, Today we're going to be playing Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe again. Last time we had some interesting things happen. We did the confusion ending, or at least a part of it. If you watched that stream, you would know it cut off abruptly, and that's because the game crashed. Straight up, game full on crashed. Um, so that was interesting, but I figured it was a long enough stream that it didn't matter if the game crashed. We could just stop right there for the night, and that's what I did. Let's just get right back into it, shall we? I don't see why not. I don't know if my progress saved. I booted up the game, and every time you boot up the game, it like asks you what time it is. Um, and I gave the actual time last time I booted up the game last night, and then this time as well, and it told me like, oh my god, thank you so much for putting in the correct time. I don't even know if it's the correct time, but it's some people just do midnight and then leave it at that. So thank you for putting the correct time, and then it's like, you know what, next time put in your favorite time, and I was just like, oh, that's fun. But let's just get straight into it.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay, I think we could skip this. Welcome back, trophy earned. What is that for? Quit the game and then start it again. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
All right.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, oh, oh.
Oh, new content?
I want to go
What does
there.
that mean, new content?
I shouldn't open the door fully. I probably would have been able to go. I don't like how this looks. This is scary content. That's what this is. This spooky content. Okay.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Uh-huh.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Cool. I'd hope so.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Oh, so I guess what happened is last time we played, that was like stuff that was all in the regular original release, but like now we're into the Ultra Deluxe shit.
Okay, so far it's
Okay.
an elevator. Nothing special yet. But
I
I'm sure
kind of
it's
get
just
it.
the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Is there a button for me to press?
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
This is taking a while.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious.
I
It's as
agree
if
with that,
Oh,
narrator.
okay. Let's see the content. Gimme the content, Stanley.
No, I don't have content for you. What the fuck?
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
They added a jump feature. Oh, I have none left. I can't. Oh. What a.
Is that it?
I
Surely
think so,
that's
yeah.
not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
No, that was it. That's all they put in the re-release. It's just the jump circle. Thank you guys so much for watching the stream. I'll see you next time. All right. Another elevator? Are you shitting me?
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive.
I
It's just
agree, narrator.
elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content?
That's like a
This is no
$30
logic,
DLC
and
in
I could
any
just
other
read you
game.
the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good.
Hey, okay.
I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it.
Obviously.
I'm ready for whatever it is.
That is not the actual time. I wonder if that's going to play into anything, like entering your actual time.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And
I
don't
agree.
get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore."
Is that real? I want that.
I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
Yeah,
It's my fault, Stanley.
send him death
I built
threats.
up too much anticipation
Don't do
around
that.
the
Don't
content,
don't
I'm
do
afraid.
that. Don't do
They
that.
could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks, just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Sure, let's go, narrator. Let's go together. You and me. No gimmicks. This is not. Narrator? Narrator? What? That's. It's almost like I'm there.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Okay. I'm so.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our
Whoa.
little secret. Take a look.
What is this? Whoa.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's
Sick.
where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in
Not
October of
Steam.
2014,
Pressurized
when
gas.
the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Collector's edition. Indie Games Fest. I don't think this one. I don't think that one's legit. 2013. The original. I don't even. Oh my god. Buy on pressurized gas. Not Steam. 1951. Why does that say 1951? The first dollar they probably ever made. Demo. Okay. I didn't even know they had a demo for this game. Is that an actual achievement? Oh my god. Just a ton of awards and fun stuff, I guess. I don't think this one was real, but
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3.
Persona 3, okay.
It's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore.
Oh?
It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
How horrific. I am not going to see what's down there yet. The original remake? Okay, these doors are definitely going to close on me, so I think I want to go downstairs. Okay, I can't. What is that? Knowing your city, okay. Nothing. Top 10 memories. Yeah.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Yeah, absolutely horrible that they added the elevator. Why are these doors open again?
These
Downstairs?
were simpler times, Stanley.
Ooh.
But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas.
Oh,
The
Steam
extremely
reviews.
popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down
Oh
here.
no.
Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
No, Steam reviews are ho. Oh no.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Yeah, Steam reviews are probably not very fun for this game. Or at least back in 2013, 2014.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
No.
Tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
No, of course not.
This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear.
I had
What an
fun with it
awful
last
memory to
night.
have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say?
10 hours
You
on
constantly
record.
have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening.
To be
I wish
fair,
there was a skip button.
I can kind of fuck with that one.
A skip button.
I've been walking slowly to different parts of the game because I realize the narrator is probably going to overlap if I don't. So ever since yesterday's stream, I can kind of fuck with this one.
Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt.
Well,
It means we
I don't
can
think a
stop
skip
these
button is
negative
the
reviews
answer.
From the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
I don't think a skip button is the answer. I just think you need to, shorten your sentences a little bit.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on.
I'm gonna just listen.
No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here,
No, keep
we'll
going.
pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue. And
I want to
it
listen
goes
to the
something
whole
like
thing.
this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices.
Is it just gonna loop?
By
Is
becoming
that what it
is,
is?
So on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time.
I
at
think
which
it just
time
loops.
everything all at once. So now you see, blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
blah, blah,
okay.
blah, blah, blah.
Okay, that's boring.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but
Nope.
if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you?
A
But
little
that's
bit,
the
Mr.
part.
Narrator.
The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they can edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well...
Oh, where
I
did
want to
the
say
door
maybe
go?
30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's... Well, there's really only so much I can... Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
I don't know,
You've
man.
just
It's
been
kind of
frozen
fun.
there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my... Stanley.
Oh.
Back.
Oh my god.
Back. Oh my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks?
It's been longer than that.
All that time, just sitting here, not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking, and you saying nothing.
Oh, it's pitch black.
Hello, it's
Oh.
you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so
Is he
much
turning into a
time.
villain?
I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past.
I'm not going to hear him this time, am I? Narrator, where'd you go? Time stopped. I mean, the clock probably just died, but, you know, time stopped.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart.
Where is this going? How long has it been?
Never the end is never the end.
Oh, he's saying the thing.
Never the end is never
He's saying the
end
thing.
Is never the end is never the end is never the end is never the end is never the
What am I hearing? Like, I can see the water, but I swear I heard like a heartbeat for a second. I hope you're happy, Cookie9 or whatever your name was. I hope you're happy. Look what you've caused. Oh, wow, it's been a really long time. Oh my goodness. Oh my, how much longer has it been? I don't like the noises outside. Let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out. Oh, now there's... Let me out, 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 let me out. Oh no. Oh, I didn't even realize the room was fucking. Oh my god. I see something in the distance. There's a light ringing sound, and it's not my tinnitus. Oh. What the fuck? Now we're back here.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes,
What did you
I have
put in
something
here?
very exciting to show you.
Is it gonna be this fucking ride again? Is that it? What did he make? Thank God it skipped the ride again. I did not want to do that whole thing.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
What the fuck just happened?
Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Whoa. Oh my goodness.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly pod
I like
with
this.
a few
This
minor
is funny.
additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An
New
entirely
mug.
new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
The hum of these screens is. I don't like that sound. New content is out. New content part 2 is in. Cool red section of the chart. Boring sections of the chart. This is interesting. This is my second cup. More the Stanley Parable, better the Stanley Parable. Win-win. The color red, holistic value. What does this one even mean? I don't understand that one. Oh, different logos. I definitely think this is the best one out of all of them. Can I slide between them? That'd be fun. No. Okay. This one's kind of cool. This one is I'm not a fan.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Every pause button is a Roman numeral 2. I want to see what's on the other page, though. Just the two of us, we can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Wow. Use that in fucking ads, huh? What about you? Just the number 2 over and over again. Meeting at 2 p.m. from management. Crab the ultimate sequel. You are the sequel? Okay. Red carpet. I fuck with the red Stanley Parable 2 carpet. Ooh, big.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Okay. The reassurance bucket merch. That has to be an actual QR code, right? They wouldn't put that in the game if it was fake. That has to be their actual merch QR. I'm scanning it right now. Hold on. Oh, it's a link. I'm opening the hyperlink. StanleyParable2.com. It's an actual website. Welcome to the official website of the Stanley Parable 2. A sequel, huh? Oh, the website just crashed. Okay. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Hear your name in the game. Hear your name in the game. Did they like pull it off my PlayStation
For the Stanley
profile?
Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people.
Uh-huh.
So with that in
Of
mind,
course.
my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Mm-hmm. I doubt it.
Jim.
Okay.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature.
Okay,
Just
okay,
play
I fuck
along.
with that.
I promise you'll love it.
I fuck with that. Okay.
Here we go. Let's take a deep breath.
I am
Clear
Jim.
your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim, watching your dreams crumble into dust.
Of
Do you
course.
feel it
I
deeply?
feel like Jim.
Are
I
you
am
really,
Jim.
truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
That's my name.
Jim.
Oh my god, that was
Yes,
holy
you
shit.
see? What a thrill! What a rush! It
Oh.
was you! The button
Oh
described
my god,
you.
don't do that to
Do
me
it
again.
do it
Holy shit. Oh, again? Oh, fuck. I mean, if you say so.
It's
Oh.
even harder the second time. If this were the
Oh my
only
goodness.
new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money.
Absolutely.
Let's take a
I'd pay
break from the
$80 for
jingle.
this.
I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal
80
validation.
Canadian. That's like 60 USD, but 80 Canadian. All right. That was a bit much. I feel like I need like a water break or something. That was kind of intense. Wasn't expecting
I
that.
suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That
That
would
too.
actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
No screenshots? Fuck you. I just took one. Whole new office. I like the redesigned carpet. Red is the new orange. I'm gonna screenshot that as well. The new updated ray traced more of the same in a good way sequel to. Okay. New features, new content, new ideas. Jump circle, infinite hole. I'm gonna see what the bucket is first. A reassurance bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair.
It's not
in those who
here.
played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting.
Of course.
You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And
Well, give it to me.
It's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes,
Yeah, you're making me uncomfortable all the time, bro. Come on.
Come on. Give it a try.
Oh my goodness.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say
This feels
that I do
great.
believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
Oh.
I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Well, thank you,
The
narrator.
benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they?
Absolutely.
All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Absolutely worth the $80 Canadian. I would pay for
Does anyone
for
give
this
out
game.
awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already. Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Happy 12th birthday, stepniece, bro. That's so good.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get well
Aw.
someday it is.
You're a piece of shit, narrator. Come on.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
I hate you. What? Trophies? I love trophies. Pull the lever, receive your trophy. No more steps, it just works.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident?
Oh, did they repurpose it to this?
To simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
I want it. I want the free trophy. Stanley, or not Stanley, narrator, you're an asshole. Holding it doesn't change the outcome, okay. Narrator, you're a bitch. I love this bucket, man.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet? You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw them.
I did, I'm sorry.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
Okay. Don't give me more. That's okay. Wasn't there something over here?
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Settings world champion. What does that even mean? No, I want to... No, come on. I wanted to see what that was. Collectibles, exit, infinite hole. It won't end. Oh, this is where I came out of. This bucket is really helping me. Infinity. I don't... Okay.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
I don't like how it sounds. Can I drop the bucket? I don't want to leave this area just yet. I kind of want to see what the rest of the hall has to offer. I'll keep this infinite hole in mind, though. What about the collectibles?
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them.
Oh.
I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Oh, cool. Wait, what? There's 6? Well, now I have to find them all. What the fuck?
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
I disagree. So there's an exit, but I want to see what the infinite hole has to offer. Okay, so it looks like all I have left is the infinite hole and then exit. Let's try the infinite hole. Let's see what's down here. The noises were kind of scary, but that's not going to stop me.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Good, I know how this works anyways. I am standing on an invisible surface, and the walls are simply moving.
To go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Wait, no, the hole, it's getting smaller at the top. Unless it just moves.
Okay, Stan.
I know, like, I'm standing on a floor, I know that for sure, but...
It's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the The infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling.
Yeah.
What normal person actually wants
That
to
wasn't
fall
actually
from?
falling, but yeah.
I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me.
I was
Maybe
probably
you're the
teleporting. That's
problem.
probably what that was.
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
No, I
think we
didn't say
just
shit.
put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite. If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on.
Put
I'll
that
just
in
be
the
up
fucking
here.
cover. Put that
Great.
in the cover of the
Now,
box.
I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
There are no more ideas. That was the last thing. It's time to go to the exit. I love this bucket, though. When I jumped down that hole, a part of me was worried like I was going to die, but man, this bucket did something for me, man. It made me not scared at all. Alright, time to leave. Goodbye, Stanley Parable 2 Hall. I love all of this. It's so fun.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to
Yes.
move on now?
Yes, I have, narrator.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
Absolutely.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right?
This,
sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on.
This
Let me
sucks.
do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
This is...
Who am I kidding, Stanley?
It sucks.
This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully,
Ah,
with
of course.
respect, with care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2.
Really?
Let me see if I can whip something up.
That's what we're doing now?
All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Is it going to boot me to the title screen? Oh my god, it is. Settings are all the same. I don't need to change anything. Okay. I guess we'll begin.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Of course.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong.
That's odd.
Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What was that?
Stanley went around touching.
Oh, it's the
Stanley
bucket.
picked up the bucket.
I was so confused why my reticle showed up. It's because the bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
We're doing this
Was
again?
not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, I don't think he did.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
No, I didn't.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there.
Oh.
It says, no buckets past this point.
I don't think I'm
Stanley,
gonna listen to
how
that.
did you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if
Well,
not addressed
I don't
quickly and
care.
properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket.
Really?
Please, step in here for a moment.
Okay. Interesting. He doesn't... Oh?
Now then, I'm going
Is
to
this a
run
game
you
show?
through some test scenarios, and
Oh my
you'll
God, wait,
tell me
that's
whether or
sick.
not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket.
Bisexual
Simple
lighting.
enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
I don't think so.
Correct.
Oh,
It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
I'm so fucking smart, bro. It's actually crazy.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
I'm gonna have to say no on that one.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Yeah, you could use it as a bucket, though. Like, what defines a bucket, you know? I feel like that's a whole
Item
conversation
3.
on its own.
Is this a bucket? Correct.
Oh.
This is a bucket.
Okay, had me worried there for a sec. I was kind of shitting bricks there.
Item 4. Is this a bucket? What? Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor.
I don't know
It's
what
an
that
enormous
is.
machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up?
I'm sorry,
Absolutely
narrator. I'm sorry.
incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
I'm sorry, narrator. It's my fault.
Is this a bucket?
Okay. Ooh, ooh, um.
Correct.
Oh,
This is a bucket.
thank fuck. Holy shit. Oh my god. I was really stressing on that.
Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question.
What?
Both. Gotcha.
Oh, come on, man. You can't do that to me. You can't do that to me.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. Should be around here somewhere. Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here.
Yeah, but I
I
was
can
right.
appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something. And
Nah, I
therefore
don't think so.
nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
I do. I
You know
truly
what?
do.
I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am
I do.
I
It's nothing.
a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart.
There is
I
no
can't
bucket.
have that. I'm
Don't
sorry.
take away my bucket.
But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game
No,
entirely.
don't take away my
Okay,
bucket.
here we go.
No, no, no.
What happened? Is everything gone?
Oh
Why
my
did
god.
everything disappear? Wait, was
Oh my.
everything a bucket?
Everything was a
Every single
bucket.
thing in the game was a bucket.
It was all
My
bucket.
God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything.
Oh, you're a
We'll put back
bitch.
all of the buckets, okay?
Okay, never
And
mind. You're
we'll
not a
know
bitch.
that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
I like that. Everything's a bucket. I like that.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
No, I don't think I did.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. A cargo lift. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not
I'm
question
not going
why
to the
or how
top.
this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
No, I did not.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here?
Motherfucker.
What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't?
Are we gonna do this whole game show
I
thing
suppose that would
again?
explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Is it just gonna be the same thing again? I didn't think this game would have a fucking repeat like this that was so easy to access.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios.
I guess we'll
and
answer it
you'll tell me
legitimately this
whether or
time.
not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is
What?
a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
You're a bitch. You're such a bitch.
Item 2. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Yeah, but you could use that as a bucket. There's nothing stopping you.
Item 3. Is this a bucket? Correct.
There we
This is
go.
a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket? Correct.
Hey.
This is a tractor and not a bucket.
I
To be honest,
know.
I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one. Is this a bucket?
Of course it is.
Correct. This is a bucket. Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
I think it's just the same exact thing, so I'm not going to do that again. Unfortunate.
All this code is
I figured
gone.
there'd be something
What
new
could it
there.
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
No, you know
This
what?
was
We're
not the
gonna
direct
go
way
up
to the
on the
meeting room.
cargo lift this
Stanley
time.
had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
I love this fucking
Stanley
bucket.
took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
I would
Stanley
like
did
to
not
see
question
what he
why or
wants to
how
do.
This bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Blindly. I love this bucket. That's why I'm doing it.
Now pick
Oh.
up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Oh, it actually worked.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Press X to take me to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
I disagree. Take me back home with you.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
I won't. This bucket is my life. Go back to work.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think. It can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's
I don't know,
it.
man.
It doesn't do anything else.
This bucket has been talking to me. Don't listen to the loud man. Of course.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to.
I love
Now
this
all
bucket.
he cares about is this awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Ignore anyone in your life except for me. That's the kind of language I don't really fuck with. But okay.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Of course. I love you,
Yes,
bucket.
I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Absolutely. If I could turn on this sink, I would. Relive the same day with me over and over. Is that not what we're already doing?
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket.
I
Why do
disagree.
I feel
That's
so need to point
racist.
out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket.
Go home to work to home to work to home. Okay.
Oh no, I'm having feelings for the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it
Ooh,
asks. What's wrong with me? I don't
romantic.
understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes, the bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
The bucket is
Stanley,
comforting.
Give me the bucket. Give it
No.
to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley.
No.
I need it.
My
Give it
bucket.
to me now. Give it or I'll...
Fuck you, narrator. This is my bucket. Fuck you. Go back to work, Stanley.
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
What the fuck? I don't think I want the bucket right now. Where's the
Stanley
narrator?
came
Oh,
to a
there
set
he
of
is.
2 open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, I did not.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Is this just going to be the same stuff as
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten
base
off on the wrong
game?
foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
Is it gonna let me through now?
That I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
Okay, yeah, it's just gonna be the normal shit. All right, let's take the bucket and the door on the left.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started. And
What?
if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
The narrator doesn't say that normally.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
I love this bucket. You don't understand.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Meeting room.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Of course. Oh.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
Oh,
You
it
can feel it,
does.
can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
Oh, you're not getting my fucking bucket. You're not
It's
getting
a
my bucket.
It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies.
It's gonna go right here.
Don't
Not
give
doing
in.
it.
Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to
Wow.
this stream of petty insults simply
He's
in
gonna
order
start
to get
calling
you
me
to hand over the
slurs.
bucket?
I'm
Stanley,
gonna use gamer
I
words.
never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined.
Wow.
And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends.
Whoa
That your
there.
relationship is purely superficial and convenient.
Me and
That
this
your
bucket
life
go
is
way
so
back.
banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner. Well,
No.
I'd never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together.
Let's just
Therefore,
say I
answer
wouldn't
them
kiss
point
another
by point.
bucket. Okay.
Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
What a fun little detour.
Okay, coming to a staircase. Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Upstairs. Got it. Bathroom? Oh.
You found one of them.
Oh my god.
One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You
I want
can't
all
buy
of them.
that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe I actually found one. Does the elevator work now? I wonder. No. Nothing is gonna change. Let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out. Thank you.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned.
I wonder if I can
discover what
remember
an
the code from
indication of
yesterday.
any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire,
Fuck.
if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
I would have.
Now,
That's
in
so
the darkest
true.
of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it.
I love this
The
bucket,
two of
bro.
them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
I was close. Come on.
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Of course. Oh, no way.
Another miniature Stanley.
Holy shit.
This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands?
Mini
Stanley
stands.
figures.
I fuck with
Oh,
that.
What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Nah, I like mini stand. I think mini stand sounds nicer. I like mini stand.
The
It's
elevator
funnier.
raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
I love this bucket. Can I go back up? What'll happen if I go back up?
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go
Oh?
back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
Oh. I found a little secret, I guess. Alright, well, let's press the number 3 and see what happens.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
Wow, you are a bitch. That was for nothing. I thought I found a really fun little thing, fun little secret, but nope.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 remote.
It was so much. I had so much joy.
A hint
All
of
right.
regret nagged in the back of Stanley's mind. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
This was an ending, so I guess we'll do this.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Oh, we were up
What
there
horrible
before.
secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Oh my god. So there is like actual lore. I thought it was a joke, but no, there is actual lore.
The monitors jumped to life.
Mine is like
and
over
Stanley nearly
here.
dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office
427.
was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears. As
Oh, it's
Stanley
okay, my
cradled it
bucket.
gently,
It's okay.
reassuring it that everything would be fine.
It's okay, my bucket. It's okay. I promise.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Maybe the bucket only loves
No!
me
He
because...
screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it.
The mind
His
control.
own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof.
What
The
on
heart of the
earth?
operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived.
Offer on.
The
Oh.
bucket made a sassy comment
Okay.
about taking down the system.
I have a feeling that no matter what ending I do, or no matter what button I press, it'll be an ending, but I kind of want to press on.
But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped.
It wasn't me, it was the
Had this been
bucket.
the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen.
Oh,
Birds.
silly birds.
Silly birds. The control buttons became active again. Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all.
Are you
It was a
sure?
facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world.
I'm getting
The
mind controlled right
controls
now.
were only a facade to disguise its true intentions.
I don't
Had the
believe
bucket
you.
known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery.
I don't think so.
Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place.
What the fuck?
Living through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
Interesting.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Oh, okay. Okay, I know what we're gonna do.
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had
No,
felt the
but
bucket calling
the
to him,
safe
telling him
room
that
is
the
over
employee
here.
lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Is this not a safe room? Is that not what this is?
No,
Okay.
never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Oh? What the fuck? There will be a reward for finding them all. Stop kidding yourselves. I want them so much. Inside a sequel exhibit, nearby a fireplace, a private but smelly place for an important person. Somewhere both red and blue. Stairs, something to do with stairs, a large room, lots of boxes. Huh. Take screenshot, there we go. Looks like 427, ha ha ha.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Is it down here? It is down here.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do
I
you
don't
think?
like Figley's.
What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it.
I like
I'm
Mini
sure it
Stan.
will come to me.
Mini Stan is the cool one. Okay,
But Stanley
so
just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe...
okay, it's just gonna be the crazy ending again. But at least now we have the collectible. So we're looking for the red and blue door set, meaning no bucket. We can't take the bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too... But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
We're gonna go see the red and blue
Stanley was
doors.
so bad at following directions, it's
I have a
incredible
feeling
he
that's
wasn't
where it is.
5 years ago.
And then a
Look,
big
Stanley, I
room.
think
Oh,
perhaps we've gotten
oh, it's
off on the
there.
wrong foot here.
Oh
I'm not your
no.
enemy, really, I'm not. I
Wait, how do I
realize
get
investing
there?
your trust in someone else can
There's a
be difficult,
door.
but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Maybe the maintenance
Someone
room?
you've
Maybe I go
been
down the maintenance
neglecting,
elevator?
Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself.
Oh shit.
What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have
I almost
zero
forgot to jump down.
consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it.
There it is.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've
Okay,
nearly
last
gotten
one,
all the
last one.
Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it.
No,
We'll
something's
be
gonna
different
happen.
people by then, different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had...
Okay, we're gonna
felt
stick to the
bucket calling
plan.
to him,
That's what we're gonna
telling
do.
him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
No, there's no way it's here.
Good
There's a
Stanley.
loading zone.
I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content.
But I
We're
love
the
him.
ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving...
No, I do not. I'm gonna straight up just ignore going through new places. I want this last
All of
mini
his
stand.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
How do you get down there, though? I've never been down there.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
It was okay.
It was okay. What the
But
fuck?
eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, he didn't.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's
Oh,
incredible even some 5
oh,
years ago.
oh. Okay, last one.
And there it is, the last Stiggly Wiggly.
Mini
Seriously,
Stan.
Stanley, this is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it.
Give me
Where so
some,
many
please.
people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead
Oh,
I'll just
you're
say
so right.
it's done. We're all done here.
You're
And
so
now
right.
we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
I don't wanna, though. Surely there's something. Oh, what's at the bottom of the vent?
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed
What the fuck?
the office had begun.
You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did
Okay,
you?
I kinda
What a silly
did.
and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie,
I love
where it
those
turns
kinds of
out all
games.
to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling.
Not
It must
movies
be
and
so
TV
simple
shows,
to
but
be
video
you.
games, yes. I
Life being
love
an
that kind of shit.
unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
How? How is that my fault? What the fuck? Did he just reset me? What a bitch.
Stanley, I'm sorry,
Whoa,
but I have to
what
put a pause on
the fuck?
things. It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't
It
fill
was.
you to the
That
brim
was.
with inner richness?
That was so good.
I'm supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I
Oh,
would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
interesting. We're back here. When Stanley found the collectibles. I did do that, didn't I?
Here's where it all began. The
Oh my
first
god, the
collectible.
first
Back then,
one.
we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
7.
And here was a second Stanlerine. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley.
8
I'll be
out of
honest.
6.
Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways. Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
It was the boss's office. It was behind this door and then to the right.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here, behind the boss's office. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
I don't think that's true, but okay.
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room.
What?
Well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
I don't think that's true. I have never seen this place in my life.
This was the 5th mini-stand, and this one was really something special. It was by the red and blue doors. I remember it so clearly.
What about the one
In
under the
fact,
stairs?
Because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
What? What the fuck? Fucking Windows Movie Maker? What is this? Oh my god, he called it the mini stand. Fuck yes, I did. Hell yeah.
Takes you back, doesn't it?
It really
I spent a lot of
does.
time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else. And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here in the warehouse. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others.
Uh-huh.
Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Of course. And now where are we going?
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
Okay. Is it a reset? Oh.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Okay.
Okay, yes. This spot in the warehouse. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
The narrator's kind of starting to lose it.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
It was beautiful. Oh my god, he's playing it again.
Yes, I love that video.
I also love that video. And this, what the
Still
fuck
don't
does this
remember the
mean?
pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good
'Cause it
room,
didn't
though.
happen.
A solid room.
We found it under the stairs in this one. I don't know why.
These
I don't know
really
why
were
it's
a
like
treat
that.
to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Okay, but I still want a reward for this. Okay, there's nothing here. I thought I could score some extra mini stands, but I guess not. Gotta just keep going the way we came.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Nothing interesting. Wait, what the fuck? Oh my god, the jumping circle.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then. But time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, oh yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
Huh. They both lead to the same spot, okay. And it's my office.
And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office?
Not that I know of.
I can remember.
Oh.
Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions, he would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story.
This is interesting.
Okay, here we go.
So is this implying that the
This is
narrator
the story of a man named Stanley.
is just making up a story and that's it?
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. Nothing's different yet.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
There we go.
What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845.
Fuck. I was so
But
close.
of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Where is this going? I'm just gonna listen to the narrator to see, but...
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Maybe.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Are there other white buttons? What have I found here? I don't understand what those do. Yeah, that's nothing. Nothing here. Oh wait, can I get up there? Brightness is so low I couldn't even see these stairs. Oh, I guess I can't. They're locked. But clearly there's a button up there. There's a fence in the way. Okay. Well. Oh wait, there's a button here. 5. There's 1, 2, 5, and then whichever one's up there. Where's 3 and 4? Well, one of those is... Oh. Okay, so up there is 4. So it's 1, 2... 3, and that's 4. Can I get up here now? Did the fence move? No. There must be like an ending or something that I need to get for that to move. That's gotta be it. I'll do something new this time then.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Interesting.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Oh, beat the game. I just got a fucking achievement. Complete the Stanley Parable. Well, click on door 435 times.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy?
Yeah.
Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5
Come on.
clicks. Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing.
You're a
true effort
bitch.
on noble cause.
You are a
Perhaps
bitch,
50
narrator.
clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
I'll do it for an achievement. I'll fucking do it.
No. I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter the cost.
Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
20 clicks. This hallway is the other way. This hallway should be going to the right. Maybe I'm insane. $427, right?
Oh, great. Now,
Oh,
go click a few times
417.
on door 437.
I don't think I can go back. Okay, what if I do this?
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
This is going a different direction. I'm not crazy. Do I have to do this over again? Because this isn't doing anything. Four, 3, 7.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an... Coming to a staircase, Stanley...
All right. I don't know. I think we'll find that eventually. I might just platinum this game off camera, but I got the achievement for beating the game, so I think that's it. I think there's nothing more to it. If those white buttons in the mind control facility room, if those ever do anything, I will make sure to post it as a video and then add it to a playlist featuring the Stanley Parable streams. But aside from that, I think that's it, honestly. I think we've done everything aside from achievements. So yeah, thank you everybody so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I hope you have an amazing day or night wherever you are. And be sure to tune in soon because I've got more exciting streams on the way. Bye-bye.